Welcome back, True Seeker. A lot of people interested in the death of Jalen Hill. And again, for all the people who've been waiting for this video, I would highly encourage you to begin using the knowledge yourself. If you've watched a few of my videos, you could have solved this one in 5 seconds. And we'll talk about it. We'll also talk about the death of Maury Wills at age 89. Wasn't long ago we were talking about the death of Vin Scully 89 days before the start of the World Series, and I was laying out how important that number is to the Los Angeles Dodgers as well as the city of Los Angeles itself. And we will be in LA soon. We will be in LA soon to bring the knowledge of Kobe Bryant's death and so many more right to the streets, just like kind of how we went to New York for 9/11. We're also going to talk about the news out of Indiana yesterday, the judge blocking the near total abortion ban and why they did this on Jane Roe's birthday. Same Roe from Roe versus Wade. And we'll remind what Joe Biden did on August 3rd, 8-3 with abortion, where 8-3 is the murder number. That's going to fit right in with what we talk about of Jalen Hill, who's died after the 83rd March Madness tournament. We'll also talk about how CNN was sure to put in the racial coding number about the Ime Udoka suspension story, also of yesterday from the 22nd of September in the year 22, where Boston just went to their 22nd championship right after Adam Sandler's Hustle movie, which was all about 22. And then we'll talk about what Aaron Judge might do later today, number 99 on September 23rd, the day leaving 99 days left in the year, the day that I called the Super 9 date. Of course, baseball's a game of 9 innings. And it's interesting how today syncs up with Roger Maris's birthday, if history is made. And hopefully also a little bit later, the premiere that we were just doing will start up again. Somehow, I've never seen this before, a premiere get interrupted and shut down. But YouTube did interrupt and shut down our premiere of the Cuts 1 footage from New York City 9/11. Again, a lot of different people were there recording. I'm going to continue to post content as it comes up. It's funny to see it through different people's lenses, how they captured the day. But yeah, shame on Google for interrupting the premiere. And it was right before Rambo was about to speak, you know? He's the thumbnail, too. They're out there watching you guys. We already knew that, though. But anyhow, Jalen Hill, it's sick to think that Google's taken down about 10,000 videos just like this. So Google is essentially complicit in the murder rituals that we're exposing. And again, we know it's the Jesuits, just like how Google, they celebrate their birthday on the same day the Jesuits are recognized by Rome. So of course they're complicit in all this. They're part of it. These big tech companies are the same thing that is your government, the same thing that is your nightly news, the same thing that's behind all the censorship and the destruction of the country. If people would pull their head out of their ass and listen to what I'm saying, we could shut this stuff down. If the whole world had taken me seriously 9 years ago, I'm pretty sure we would have changed the world by now. But anyway, when I heard that a UCLA player was dead, my first thought was, of course, a UCLA player for the UCLA Bruins is dead just after the conclusion of the 83rd March Madness. Remember, the song Murder by Numbers came out in 1983. It's about how killing is the sport of the elite. It's as simple as ABC is 1, 2, 3. Again, in Gematria, murder equals 83. So does Bruins. And in this case, so does Jalen Hill. And if you're new here, Gematria is ABC is 1, 2, 3 in the most simple cipher. Jalen 42, Hill 41, added up in the most simple cipher. Jalen is 83. You notice his name also has the 38 in it when you use numerology. Notice the word murder. When you run the alphabetic order in reverse, and reverse with numerology, it's 83 and 38. We see these numbers connected to death all the time. And remember, when LeBron first showed up in Los Angeles in the summer of 2018, you had 2 former UCLA players, both dead. And we said right then, LeBron will win the finals for the Lakers in his 17th season, giving the Lakers their 17th championship, exactly what he did. And with regards to LeBron, he was the first person I looked at again. This death came 101 days before his upcoming birthday. And just watch. LeBron will eventually become 5-6 in NBA Finals, and he will finish off becoming 6-6, and he will do it in the time of King Charles. Because for people who forget, LeBron started with the Cavaliers, Who are the Cavaliers? They're the people who fought for King Charles in the time of the English Civil War. And King Charles was the son of King James, who LeBron's nicknamed after. That's why he won the only championship for the Cavs on June 19th, the real King James's birthday. But notice, Charles has that gematria of 66. LeBron will get to 6-6 in finals. LeBron is 66, so is LeBron James. And in Jewish gematria, the word king is 66. Charles gave his first speech as king on September 9th, 9/9, 66 days before his November 14th birthday. And remember, royal family is 56. They just had the funeral for the queen 56 days before Charles' birthday. LeBron's next championship will make him 5-6. Again, the last king of England died at age 56. That was the father of Elizabeth, who just passed by the numbers. And we told you why she would die at age 96, didn't we? LeBron is also 96 when you run it in reverse. So is Lakers. And the Lakers wear purple, the color of royalty. So shortly after the queen dies by the numbers, and while LeBron is 4-6 in finals, on his way to 5-6 before becoming 6-6, and they'll probably have him do it at age 42, you guys. It's all biblical. Remember, LeBron James has gematria of 42 forwards, 66 in reverse. These are special numbers when you write out New Testament, which begins with the 42 generations to Jesus, which concludes with the 66th book. New Testament's 42 and 66. The New Testament begins with Matthew. The word math is 42 and 66. So I still have to do some more thinking on when LeBron's going to become 5-6 and when he'll become 6-6, but he'll be 42 in a few years. He's born in 84. Anyway, this is where this is going. And again, rig sports and ritual murder, that they're always connected. Notice, Jalen Hill was born March 25th, the 84th day of the year, like how LeBron was born in 84. And from his birthday to his death on September 20th, that was 179 days later. What's 179? It's the 41st prime number. And remember, the word king equals 41. We just got the new King Charles, LeBron King James still in LA. In reverse, LA's 41. Let's not forget Kobe Bryant died while traveling from Catholic Mass on the 41st day of the Pope's age at age 41. And then LeBron won the finals on Father-Daughter Day, exactly 41 weeks after his birthday. So this player's dead 179 days after his birthday, the 41st prime. Again, in tribute to the king, from LeBron to Charles. In case I forgot to put it up earlier, Bruins, again, does have that gematria of 83. Also 79, similar to murder. Dead after the 83rd March Madness. So with regards to him dying 101 days before LeBron's upcoming December 30th birthday, finals is 101. Finals is 101. Notice it also has the 38, like Jalen Hill, like murder, like death, like killing, like RIP. 101 is the 26th prime. UCLA also has that gematria 26. Special number, game is 26. China's 26. Remember a few years ago when the UCLA players got in trouble in China? Supposedly they were shoplifting. This is one of the same players who's now dead. And couldn't help but notice that his birthday is December 17th, Saturnalia, 13 days before LeBron's birthday. Saturnalia connected to sacrifice as well. It's also Pope Francis's birthday. He died 277 days after his birthday, the 59th prime number, the number stamped all over Black history. Slave, Negro, Rasta, Blues all equal 59. Motown came out in 59. Black History Month on the 59th day of the year. Shout out to my man Steven in Detroit. He was waiting for me when I got to the Motown Hall of Fame Museum and gave us a great tour of Detroit. If you guys missed all the coverage we did while on the road trip from Seattle to New York, our stop in Detroit was awesome. And, you know, Steven, he's a humble guy, man. He gave us a tour all day. And on the way home, I said, "You want to get some food and drink, man? I got you." He's like, "Nah, you can just take me home." I felt bad that he didn't want, I want to go out and get some food with Steven. Steven, next time I come through Detroit, we got to get some food together. But anyway, he was awesome. Detroit was awesome. All the people who came out for Detroit was awesome. All the people who came out for all the cities was awesome. If you guys missed it, you should go back and see the diversity of the truth seekers, the young and the old. I mean, you can't put a stereotype on our community. It's everybody. But anyway, well, and you know, just the week before this, we had the P&B rock rapper killed 277 days after his birthday, the 59th prime. And in Jewish gematria, the word kill itself is 59. They broke the news the day after his death, September 21st. That was the 266th day of LeBron's age. Remember, Isus hominum salvator equals 266. We're in the time of the 266th Pope, the first Jesuit, Pope Francis, Mr. 59 himself. Again, all these rituals synced up with the Pope and the Catholic Church. That's how you can see who's behind the murder code. You know, if somebody in our group wants to do a remake of the song Murder by Numbers, you know, instead of saying it's the sport of the elite, we should say it's the sport of the Jesuits, it's the sport of the Catholic Church, the death cult. I mean, there are other participating factions. Let's not forget how important Skull and Bones is to all this. But then again, they're modeled after the old military order of the Catholic Church, the Templars, and they go by the nickname the Brotherhood of Death. But yeah, R.I.P. to Jalen Hill, dead at age 22 in the year 2022 when basketball's 22. Bruins again has that 79 in it like murder. 79 is the 22nd prime number. The king rules from the hill. R.I.P. to Jalen Hill. And then you got the death of Maury Wills, which was the day prior, you know, September 19th. He died 41 days before the start of the 118th World Series. And remember, again, LA 41. If you write out Los Angeles, California, it's 118. Established on September 4th, the day leaving 118 days left in the year. It's on the 118th meridian west. See how Los Angeles, California is 89 and 118? Remember, Vin Scully died 89 days before the start of the 118th World Series. In this case, this man's dead 41 days before the 118th World Series. And when you write out 41, it equals 118. And remember where these numbers all come together. Ossuary equals 118. Skull and Bones equals 41. Skull and Bones is modeled after how the Knights Templar buried their dead in an ossuary. Number 41 was George Herbert Walker Bush, whose name equals 118. 11841. We've been teaching about this for a long time. It was part of how I predicted that he would die at age 94 and wouldn't live past November of 2018. He died on November 30th, 11 plus 30, 41. The 5-year anniversary of Paul Walker, who starred in the movie about Skull and Bones, who gets a red Porsche in that movie and then dies in a red Porsche 5 years to the day of George Herbert Walker, Paul Walker. Rituals, words, numbers, dates. Okay, so something that stands out in a lot of the reporting, they mentioned that his last World Series was in 1965. Well, that was 57 years ago. And World Series in the most pure cipher, 57. I'm teaching about the same things every year. Watch what Aaron Judge does today. It's 150 days after his birthday. Another World Series number. And for the record, when you write out Friday, it equals 99. So does record. They're both 99. Today leaves 99 days left in the year. Aaron Judge wears number 99. People have been waiting all week for him to tie Roger Maris, who hit 61 home runs in 61, where 61's the 18th prime and baseball's 18. Remember, Jesus is 61. Sun is 18. So is IHS, the Catholic Church, which celebrated the sun in the sky before it celebrated the Son of God. And then years after that, we have a new language in the world where son means male offspring and the object in the sky, and people still can't figure it out. And we're telling time based on a Catholic calendar that's 52 weeks long, named after a pope. I mean, it's a joke that people can't see through the obvious. Roman architecture all over the capitals of nations across the world. Rome never died. That's a lie. This is the Holy Roman Empire. Nothing's changed. The Colosseum, the propaganda, the politics, the military domination, a society of drunk dopes. Nothing's changed. But yeah, 57 years since the last World Series there. And so anyhow, R.I.P. to Maury Wills, who I highly doubt died naturally 41 days before the start of the World Series that Dave Roberts guaranteed he would win before the season began. Who knows if they handed him the script that showed him what day Maury Wills would be murdered, Vin Scully, and everybody else who's gone this year. And it's the same stuff year after year, you guys. perfect death rituals by the numbers. And again, just yesterday, big abortion news on Jane Roe's birthday anniversary. I mean, come on. On the 75th birthday anniversary, the big New World Order number. But Jane Roe, born September 22nd in Louisiana, and Indiana, they blocked the near total abortion ban because we got this divisive storyline going, right? That's what it's all about in America. The propaganda to keep people divided and fighting over stupid stuff. It's dumb to fight over if abortion should be legal or illegal. That's a dumb argument. Do you really think you're helping the world by throwing moms in prison who got abortions? How is that helping the world? What, so the rest of her children can grow up with a parent and be more likely to grow up in a household where they need an abortion? Again, the only solution to stopping abortion is solving the ills of society. That means having community, making sure people feel safe and protected, and that they have a human network around them. Almost nobody has any of this because we've been taken out of that world. We've been taken out of the natural world. We've been put in slave school. Our family's been broken apart. This is why you see everything that you see. Fathers aren't around. They're off fighting wars over lies, demolished towers, the latest puppet boogeyman, evil leader that needs to be taken down, propped up by the same people that are instigating the war. Again, people aren't learning. History continues to repeat itself. So Jane Roe, who wanted abortion on her birthday, gets a big abortion victory in Indiana. And remember all the heart symbolism, you guys. That's why they did it in Indiana. Indiana in the most simple cipher is 52, like heart, which is a reshuffling of Earth, right? Earth is 52. The Pope rules over Earth. The Pope, a lot of people see him as the Antichrist or the devil type, devil 52. Remember the Babylonian god that has some parallels, Enlil. Anyway, this is a special number, 52 cards in the deck. But that's why they did it in Indiana after all the heart symbolism with the pro-life movement. And remember what day the memo leak was for abortion. It was May 2nd, 5-2, that showed it was going to be overturned. And then 1 month and 22 days later, it was overturned, like how Roe versus Wade was decided on 1/22, January 22nd, 122 days after Jane Roe's birthday. And abortion's 1/22. And we've been talking about abortion rituals in 1/22 for so long, way before they overturned the thing. And I've been telling you guys, it was obvious they're going to overturn it for quite a while. Of course, it was done by the numbers. In the 50th year of its existence, remember the memo leak was 94 days after Amy Coney Barrett's 50th birthday. And since they overturned it, they just had a big ritual with abortion in 40. God, I forget how they did that one, though. But they recently just had an abortion 40 ritual, too. That's how they do it. That's why you got to know the ciphers forwards and backwards, alphabetic order, forwards and backwards with numerology. And notice what day Jane Roe died, whose birth name is Norma McCarvey. She died on 2/18. That's death in English extended gematria. That's the 49th day of the year, just like how it got overturned after 49 years and change in the 50th year of its existence. And Holy Roman Empire, of course, is 2/18. They say the Holy Roman Empire folded on the 218th day of the year. Notice the picture CNN shows for this is from Indianapolis, the only 201 city in America. Don't forget the name of the bill that overturned Roe versus Wade. The name of that bill is 201. The guy who's on the bill, Dobbs, his full name's 201. Ketanji Brown Jackson, a week after Dobbs Jackson, she was nominated 201 days for her birthday. Stephen Breyer retired 201 days for his birthday. Huge number with the Jesuits. Goes all the way back to the first Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, Chief Justice John Jay, 201. It's a reminder of who's ran this nation from the beginning. And you guys, they've always ran everything through illusions and lie. They create a nation that supposedly has this Bill of Rights with all these freedoms, but we all know nobody ever had those freedoms. The only people who ever had those freedoms were wealthy white landowners in the beginning of the country. Nobody else has had any of these freedoms. The whole country is a lie from the beginning. It's all an illusion to make people think they're free, to believe in a lie, from the religion to the government, and essentially be the cattle for this authority, which is the Catholic Church. You don't think the Catholic Church had its eyes set on America where people were trying to flee its rule in Europe? They just said, you know what? This is our time to go rule another land. That's all that ever happened. Couldn't be any more obvious. From the 56 signers to James Madison, another 201, the father of the Constitution. And you know what? I got to call somebody out. I appreciate them. They speak well in public. I'm glad they came out, but it's like they just don't want to get it, and they just want to keep falling back on their same old bullshit that they know. You know, out there, you guys, we got to stand up for the Constitution. I'm talking about fake Mike Real News. He still doesn't really get the gematria thing. It's because the thing about fake Mike is he stands for the right things, but he doesn't get it enough. He represents the rest of the truth community. It's like I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's not smart enough to get gematria. I don't know if it's because he's too high all the time to comprehend it. It's like even when he uploaded the clip, how did you cut off the segment where I'm talking about Rudy Giuliani, the 107th mayor, on the 107th day of his age, 9/11 happens before we invade Afghanistan on 10/7? How do you cut the video right there? Again, this is the shit people need to know, you know? This whole thing about, man, we got to stand up for the Constitution. We don't, you guys. We need to realize the Constitution is nothing but a piece of paper. It's always been a lie. We need a new Constitution. It should just be one simple page of rules that everyone can agree to. You know, no more taxation, period. We don't need to be taxed ever again. Taxes are something that should not exist. There shouldn't be a tax for anything. If you want roads in your community to facilitate business, have the business people in that community build it. The people that are making money off the roads. We don't need any of this shit, you guys. We don't need anything that they give us with our tax dollars. Everything the government does fucks us up. If we didn't have roads and semis flying all over, guess what? We would have to have local agriculture, food right here, community. Everything government's created has created all the problems in the world. You know, there were people who lived here for a long time without any taxes, without any government, and they had way better quality of life. In fact, they actually had lives. And most people don't have a life in America. You know, we think it's a life being on the slave grind all day and coming home and resting on our couch and watching a rigged sports game and putting beer and chips in our face, just shit that kills us. We don't need any of this stuff. We don't need any of it. All we need is what was already here for us. Nature that provides ample food. I mean, again, you guys grow a small garden, you'll produce so much food, you can easily, again, it's just like when I show you Token Tim's garden. That thing's like 40 feet by 20 feet. You know, it's like 800 square feet. There's 4 people in his household, and it produces way more food than all of them eat. And it's easy to maintain a garden like that with 4 people. Produces way more food than all of them can eat. This is the world we used to live in. A world where you just needed shelter and food and not all this bullshit, man. How many people do you think were having abortions back in the Native American days? You think there were a lot of abortions back in the tribe days? No, of course there wasn't. The tribe would be like, wow, we have another one coming in. We're going to take care of you so good. It would still be that. But see, this thing came over here. You're free. Here's our Constitution. And here's a real book of spirituality inspired by God. Here, read this. See, they brought all this bullshit, language, technology. They messed up the whole world. They messed up the whole world, these psychopaths that worship murder. And by the way, just with regards to the whole 83 murder thing, I mean, who do these people really worship? Devil's another 83 word, right? Murder. It is weird that Earth is 83. It's like they made it the devil's playground. I mean, this is their code, but... Or it's like or it's their beliefs, right? It's those old beliefs that if you don't murder for the devil or whatever crazy god you're worshiping, that the whole earth will fall apart. I mean, and just watch. If we took out these psychopaths, we'd realize that life just goes on. You don't have to murder to keep the earth spinning, you know? Some flat earther just got triggered. The earth's not spinning. I can't feel myself spinning. I can't feel myself making the one full rotation over 24 hours. It's just everything else is spinning, but not... It's just like, can you guys just stop? Those people too, man. All the people that get taken by the psyops, the liars, and can't see through the obvious. If Google made something viral, that's not legit. Google made flat earth viral. It's amazing how many people can't figure that out. That's why democracies aren't real either. That's why back in the tribal day, they didn't have a democracy. They had the leader. The leader was an obvious person, physically dominant, mentally superior. He made the decisions. You know, the other people just followed like they should because they're incapable of seeing the obvious. They're incapable of making the correct decisions. Democracy. I just hate when our politicians are like, we got to do this in the name of democracy. It's like, fuck these people, man. What democracy? Every rigged election? Oh, let's say if I ever had in anything. I'm sure we all choose to pay this much in taxes. I'm sure we all chose to be taxed on every last thing we have. Yeah, the democracy is just flourishing here. But no, I would never want dumb people making decisions. And sadly, that's the truth, you guys. Most people are dumb. And if you can't see that, you're part of the problem. It's because you're one of the dummies. If you're an intelligent person in this world, you recognize that most people are dumb. I've seen it since I was 7 years old. That's not flaunting or an accident or an arrogant statement. It's just a fact. When I was 7, I started to realize how dumb people were, especially the other kids my age, but also the adults. I was like, man, these adults are pretty dumb. By the time I was 12, I was just sick of it. I was like, I do live in a society of fucking retards. I've been using that phrase since I was 12 years old. You know, I'm almost 40. Nothing's changed. That's why they come here and they're like, oh, this is the dumbest thing I ever... No, fucking retard. You're the dumbest thing there ever was. That's why you think this is dumb. Isn't that so funny about dumb people? Dumb people think the truth is dumb. Just like, can you just shut the fuck up and get out of my face? You don't need to exist. You don't need to exist, moron. Then again, I do wonder if we lived in a world that was different, where people weren't purposefully made dumb, if our percentages might be better. They probably would. There's a lot of toxicity in our world. And who knows exactly what happens to our little baby brains when we're getting fried with the chemicals injected into our bloodstream that they convinced us we needed. Makes me sick that they used to teach us in school that Jonas Salk was the greatest American who ever lived. They never told us the part about how they had to stop the polio vaccine in 1955 because it was killing people. Suppose you can't say that anymore. It's probably medical misinformation to bring up the truth. We already know it is, right? How many videos have we all lost for medical misinformation for speaking nothing but facts? You know. This platform makes me sick. The fact that people won't... I mean, every time I say, let's go out and pound payment at big tech, I hear just crickets. It's like, nobody's willing to do that, huh? Nobody's willing to confront these people about the censorship. Whole truth community. Just silent. Silence. I mean, I'd go there and do it myself, but it's not going to happen with just me. Need like 1 million people who understand how messed up this censorship is to be marching through that campus. Fill it up. You know? There does need to be a civil war. I think that'd be a good place for it to start. And it could be a reminder to all the foreigners to stay the fuck out of the country. You know? Because there are a lot of foreigners coming over here who don't give a shit about rights and liberties or freedom of speech. All they care about is the 6-figure salary Google's paying them to build the censorship police state. To build the next algorithm to censor the next person whose message is important. You know? These people can be thrown in the ocean for fish food. And that is what should happen. And if you think I'm wrong, you're part of the problem. There's a reason Creator made us so easy to kill. There's a reason. It's because some people don't need to be here. Okay, and with regards to Ime Udoka getting suspended for having he couldn't control his Big Johnson, you know, more black shaming here. Why is this even a policy? I mean, why is this even a policy? Why can't people fuck who they want to fuck? You know? Maybe they're worried that, you know, if he gets in a romantic relationship with a woman, he might start spilling the beans in bed about how rigged the games are. Maybe that's the policy. But this doesn't really make any sense to me. Why do they need to control who's having sex with who? I mean, it's like nobody respects freedom in this society. But this shouldn't even be a story. But notice what they had to do. Notice what they had to do in the story. What did they have to say? Udoka took over as the team's head coach from Brad Stevens, a white guy, he didn't fuck anybody, ahead of the 2021-22 NBA season and coached the Celtics to their first NBA Finals appearance since 2010, where they lost 4-2. They just had to put that part in there, the 42, because isn't what they always do? Anytime they got one of these stories shaming a black man for sexuality or, you know, being physically intimidating or whatever they got to do, they got to put 42 in the story. There's no reason for that detail to be in there about the 4-2. There's no reason for this story to even exist. But notice also how it breaks on the 22nd, right? It breaks on the 22nd after Boston's in their 22nd championship in the year 22 when Boston and basketball equal 22. And then they did this 98 days after the finals concluded. National Basketball Association's 98 in the most pure cipher, just like Boston and basketball. He's from Portland. I didn't realize that. Portland equals 44, and this happened 44 days after his birthday. You could also say it happened on his 45th day of being 45 years old, and Ritual's 45. But yeah, I just, I mean, it's always the same shit in our society. Just like too much focus on sexuality and who's having sex with who. Who cares? I mean, I can't come up with any logical reason why he shouldn't be able to have sex with a woman on the Boston Celtics staff if they both want to do that. And then to suspend him for the whole year? And again, this is what should show you that these games are all bullshit. If he's the only coach who could get you to the championship in all these years, you're really going to suspend him for the next season when you have a up-and-coming team? Again, it's all bullshit, you guys. All of it is bullshit. Every last thing in the news is bullshit. Everything. Period. Watch the movie Network. It's more important. It's supposedly a fictional movie, but it's like the greatest documentary ever made is what it really is. The movie Network goes on the bullshit rant. It's about a news anchor who has a breakdown on the news and tells everybody to turn off the TV. All they're watching is bullshit every day. Anyway. Finally, for one more sports thing, again, Aaron Judge, Mr. 99, who's participated in a number of rituals, synced up with judges, as we've documented so many times over the years, from the Supreme Court to New York's decision on the Second Amendment this year, which was synced up with the shooting in Texas. Remember, they won 15 straight games, and the 15th win came on the bat of Aaron Judge in a comeback when gun equals 15, and it came against the Texas team after the winning streak started on the day of the Uvalde shooting, which was a winning streak that started on the bat of a player who was from nearby Uvalde, Texas, who plays for the Yankees. But anyway, Aaron Judge, by the numbers, just like all these sports athletes. We'll see if today, on the day leaving 99 days left in the year, if number 99 ties the record. I guess if he had multiple ding-dongs, he could even surpass Roger Maris's record today. But again, Friday and record equal 99. He is number 99. It's the day leaving 99 days left in the year. There's always big rituals paying tribute to 9 on this day because it's 923, right? It's 923. What is 23? 23 is the 9th prime number. So 9/9 is the date in numerology, and it's the day leaving 99 days left in the year. Today's also 13 days after Roger Maris's September 10th birthday anniversary. When you spell out 13, remember, you guys, most simple cipher. When you spell out 13, it equals 99. He's trying to tie Roger Maris, who was born 13 days before this day. And when you write out the United States of America, which was named on September 9th, it's also 99. And then the Illuminati was founded on a date with 99 numerology, May 1st, 1776. And funny enough, today's 150 days after the birthday of Aaron Judge, which is April 26th. And then today is also 169 days after the season began on April 7th. The square root of 169 is 13, which has the relationship with 99. Again, the USA, 13 stripes, 13 colonies, 13 years of slave school programming, 13 and 99. And yeah, so again, just news and sports all day, every day, scripted trash. And again, I just get so tired of people being like, how do you script a baseball game? I mean, how don't you script it? Yeah, Big Al. Shout out to Big Al. It's on my phone right now. Big Al just sent me a clip last night from the Arizona Diamond. Watch what the Diamondbacks do today, too, because they love the number 99. But the Arizona Diamondbacks manager was on ESPN last night using this language, you guys. The clip is out there. Big Al sent it to me this morning. I don't know if it'll play loud enough through my phone. Hold on. I'll even try to play it. Let me see. Let me see if I can play it and if it's loud enough. If it's not loud enough, I'll repeat what he said.
About his performance, fastball command, heavy counts, breaking ball whenever he needed it, and he followed a great plan. He based on the plan, if you have the plan in front of you the way we do, and it's scripted, he followed the script perfectly and executed at a very high level.
Come on, man. I mean, between the million times you've already heard you couldn't have scripted any better, and then that last night, when it's all scripted, I mean, we got the plan. He followed the script perfectly. I just get so annoyed with people. You guys, what we've documented for 9 years, it can't be a coincidence every fucking game. The games are scripted. We've literally called the World Series every single year I've been here, since either from before spring training began or from early in the season. Every year we've done it. Every year. and we've done it with college and pro and all these other leagues too, at a very high rate, higher than anyone's ever done in the history of the world. And how did we figure it out? Because we figured out how the games are scripted by these Kabbalist psychopaths where all is numbered, like how they have etched on their Masonic temples as all the American sports are credited to Masons. Trump wages secret court battle to block January 6th info. I want to look into it. Again, he's a little Jesuit puppet. Today was the day 7 years ago today that Pope Francis spoke in D.C. on the 266th day of the year as the 266th Pope. Remember, the land was once owned by Francis Pope. Used to be called Rome on the Potomac. Sham. Votes could escalate war. NATO, the whole thing is a sham. Justin Breyer's back today. The way they always sync up the Supreme Court and Aaron Judge. It's interesting how they have Justice Breyer back out there who has the same birthday as the Jesuit order. Today's 39 days after his birthday. New York and federal number. But yeah, anyway. Got to get back. I am still doing the packing, moving grind. I have a lot more to do. Again, moving always seems like an endless project until it finally does end. But a lot of people were asking for me to cover the death of the UCLA player and also Maury Wills. So, again, wanted to get that out there. But, yeah, again, you guys, I mean, you didn't need me to cover this one. We talked about, you should have had it stuck in your head that it was the 83rd March Madness. And when I decoded his name, I was like, see, somebody asked me to stream before I'd even decoded it and said, did you see the UCLA player? I said, well, Bruins 83 after the 83rd March Madness. Lo and behold, 30 minutes later, I'm decoding the story and go, well, what do you know? The player's name equals 83. What do you know? Keep in mind, 83 is the 23rd prime number, and King does also equal 23. So, all right, you guys, we'll leave it there for now. Back to the grind. Thank you for everyone who supports the work. And hopefully they let that premiere that we did earlier play out because they canceled it right before Arthur and Rambo spoke. I've never seen a premiere get interrupted before, but they did do it today. So. And again, you guys, apologies. I was going to read all the super chats when I got back from the New York trip that were left on Gematria Effect News 24, but because they demonetized the channel, it gets rid of all the archived posts that were super chats. And to me, that just seems like a stupid policy too. Like, why do they have to clear out that section? So again, thank you to everyone who supported the work while I was on the road. It did. You guys pretty much netted out the cost of the trip, and I wish there would have been more growth in terms of the overall support, but we'll keep pushing forward until the day it does happen. So, and thank you to everyone who is supporting the Patreon. Patreon has climbed up a little bit this month. It's still way down though from earlier this year before we did any of the pavement pounding from Oklahoma City to Buffalo to New York City. Again, you guys, we need our numbers to grow to do this at a much higher clip. You know, if people had gotten behind the work this year, Sweet Lady would totally be down with my plan of pounding payment in a major city every month. And that's where I want to get it to, but it's going to take more support to get it there. More people pledging that $1 a month or $2 or $5 or whatever they can afford. If more people do that, we got more funds to do more big things. And I think it would be awesome to fly to a city every month, at least once a month, and pound payment in that city, bring out the true seekers, especially during sports season, especially during football season. It would be awesome to gather at a football stadium every week because we have so much to say about every NFL team, all the players that have been murdered for each team, the rigged sports rituals, the rigged Super Bowls, the games, the impossible losses to explain. You know, again, you guys support that Patreon, and it's real. When you support this work, you win more than I win. Again, I only charge $5 a month for the sports picks. People who are on the sports picks this football season have already paid for their subscription for the rest of the year easily and probably the next 10 years combined. I mean, you do the math, that's $60 a year in support. A lot of you guys are making a lot more than that per game. Again, congrats to all those who took the Browns again for 35 Thursday. Not to mention, I'm dropping this stuff for free. For all you guys who just hang around and take the knowledge for free and give nothing back, your karma score is going to be super low. I'll tell you that much. So anyway, we'll leave it there. And until next time.